Welcome to Ukraine, with your host, Pastor Bert.
Hello, friends. Here is a very short summary of Putin's rise to the presidency. Putin publicly admits now that he was never Yeltsin's supporter, although he worked for Yeltsin, even accepted the position of Yeltsin's prime minister of Russia, meaning if Yeltsin died or was removed from office, Putin would then replace Yeltsin, as Yeltsin had led the rebellion in Russia successfully to end the Soviet Union. Politically, Putin stated on April 6, 2005, quote, "The collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century," unquote. Putin, while working for Yeltsin as a double agent, hid his opposition to the end of the Soviet Union. For political purposes, that made Yeltsin Putin's enemy and Yeltsin an enemy of the Soviet Union. As a deadly Soviet spy, Putin had killed many political opponents year after year. When asked about his murderous crusade by a reporter, Putin replied, "That's how the game is played." Imagine, for Putin, killing is a game. If you examine the activity that Putin engaged in while directly working for Yeltsin, I submit that Putin was acting as a double agent, actively, daily, seeking to poison, possibly murder, and certainly incapacitate Yeltsin every day he worked for him. Beyond killing his political opponents for 8 years, I submit Putin actively, as his assassin, sought to murder, weaken, and drive Yeltsin from the presidency. This is how Putin as a double agent worked, while Yeltsin's #1 right-hand man physically compromised, weakened, and attacked Yeltsin every day that he worked. Yeltsin suffered from chronic heart failure. Putin attacked the weakened Yeltsin's heart every day by poisoning Yeltsin with more alcohol to offer in government or to dignity. And this daily drinking of total continued while Yeltsin remained president. President Yeltsin had 3 heart attacks in 1996. In September 1996, Yeltsin had coronary bypass. It is unethical to be a facilitator to give anyone with heart disease alcohol. That's why Putin was a double agent. Alcohol weakens the heart. Alcohol raises blood pressure. And Yeltsin had very high blood pressure, and Putin knew it. Heart disease has 10 times greater the probability of pneumonia and death by stroke. Putin serving alcohol daily to Yeltsin was very much a poisoning, attempted murder. For the 2.5 years that Putin ran Yeltsin's presidential office, he set Yeltsin's schedule. Who Yeltsin met with, what was to be the agenda of those meetings, where it could make sense to do so. Putin scheduled the serving of an alcoholic toast, vodka, to everyone meeting Yeltsin at these meetings. He would write into each meeting's schedule the order and the time of each portion of the meeting and where an alcoholic toast meetings, and then everyone there would drink their glass of vodka. At the appointed time in each scheduled meeting, servers and waiters would come into the meeting room with trays of vodka and pass, all in attendance, including President Yeltsin. Some days, there were multiple meetings, having thus multiple toasts that day, of all of which Putin scheduled that Yeltsin alone would present, participate, and drink each vodka toast. Every vodka toast weakened Yeltsin's heart. For the years Putin was Yeltsin's right-hand man, Yeltsin's chosen successor, Yeltsin was in and out of the hospital almost monthly. Every drink that Putin put before his boss attacked Yeltsin's damaged heart. In December 1999, when Yeltsin resigned as president, he was frail and once again battling pneumonia, high blood pressure, and exhaustion. Why? Because Putin was the facilitator of every drink of alcohol Yeltsin drank while on the job as president. Attacking the president of your country is treason. Attempted murder, which was exactly what Putin was doing. Yeltsin never recognized these unsolicited drinks as an attack because, unfortunately for him, Yeltsin liked drinking alcohol. If you offered Yeltsin to present a toast, he was always open to participate. Seeing then in Yeltsin this character flaw, Putin scheduled alcoholic toasts for Yeltsin every day. Attack against a president to weaken, as it turned out, to drive Yeltsin from the president. Beyond this poisoning of using alcohol, Putin, as the former head of the FSB, the successor to the KGB, had agents of the FSB working direct for him, investigating and seeking ways to legally remove President Yeltsin as president in two different ways. First, the FSB agents were looking for proof of corruption, the taking of graft and bribe. The FSB agents found little. Moreover, the FSB further sought to prove that members of Yeltsin's own family were also involved in this make-believe corruption. The FSB agents were spurred on their attack against the president by private request of their prior immediate boss, Putin, because Putin wanted Yeltsin's job. The FSB agents continued their investigation, trying to bring charges against Yeltsin's wife, Yeltsin's children, and any of his friends to push Yeltsin to leave the presidency. Secondly, after years of having drinks pushed upon him by Putin, Yeltsin passed out and exhibited unreliable behavior while drunk. Drunken behavior is a jailable, office-removing crime to the security and a risk to the Russian government under Russia's criminal law. Moreover, Yeltsin's wife and children were also at risk of criminal charges because under Russian law, if you don't report security risks created by members of your own family, then the family members are also subject to criminal prosecution. You see how sinister Putin is? Putin feeds alcohol to compromise his president, to weaken him, to destroy his health. But then Putin, through agents in the FSB, uses the Yeltsin's blazing alcoholic addiction, this story of Putin's betrayal to take his job. It will be continued in our next edition. Friends, thank you for visiting Welcome to Ukraine, this series, How to Stop Putin and His Nuclear War. Putin's like a puzzle. You can't begin to understand what Putin is doing unless you lay down and examine every piece of the puzzle, one piece at a time. Do this enough, and you will not only empower yourself, but all of humanity by learning of the threat and the risk to all human life. How to defeat Putin and to stop its nuclear war to save all our lives. Be sure and come back tomorrow for the next installment, for the next step also in solving this hidden puzzle. Because this issue is literally life and death for our species. Lives are at stake. Whose? Well, all of ours as well as yours. We must stand against this extinction of all mankind. We must not go quietly into the night. We must bring awareness to as many of our kind to encourage more opposition to Putin's nuclear war. Please help us to help you. Please visit us also on our parent site, Free Ukraine Gives. Remember, beloved, God loves you, so do I. Until the next time, this is your host, Pastor Bert, saying goodbye, friends.